Good morning and hope you all have been well. In today's video, we are going to be continuing on with our Pokemon Desolation Let's Play, and this is part 40 of the Let's Play, just to let you guys know. So with that being said, let us go talk to Reeve then. Or not. Okay, where are you? I thought he said at the club. Right? Or is it this door? Oh, here. Very interesting. Because that is a Team Crescent grunt. Well, I guess it now makes sense why he doesn't want Nova or Ava to be a part of this. Ava being a gym leader would totally not be okay with this little interaction and be suspicious. Nova was a leader of Team Crescent, but now is no longer a part of that whole team at all. It's still kind of weird that he is involved with Team Crescent to an extent. So definitely something suspicious is going on, but let's just keep reading to see what happens and how this all plays out. Oh, why hello. How nice of you to show up. Hey, who the hell are you? This is a private meeting and you weren't invited. So how about you turn around and find the door? This trainer was very much invited, I'll have you know. So please show some restraint. Come, my lovely trainer, take a seat. This isn't what we agreed to. You said it'd just be you and me, man. Nothing wrong with a little insurance, is there? Besides, it's not like you stuck to the rules. Seeing as you're meeting me in my establishment, I would have expected you to wear something a little less underwhelming. True. This trainer was kind enough to do the honors. I didn't come here to party. This meeting is for business, not glamour. Business and glamour go hand in hand, something you clearly don't understand. Like, I think Reeve is kind of like trying to like say, yo, why are you in your Team Crescent, like, uniform? Like, go get something else so you don't look suspicious around here. But still, this whole thing is kind of weird. Like, you know what, let's just keep reading. Nevertheless, now that we've all have grabbed the seat, you best be snappy with your business. I don't exactly have all day. Fine, let's get to it. You're Reeve, right? Part-time gym leader, part-time entrepreneur, but also there's a bit more to you, I reckon. How about part-time and evolutionary enthusiast? Yeah, I know all about your little schemes back in the day. I won't lie, Reeve, you're not as ahead in the unethical evolution research as some other groups, but I have intel that you might like to know. Well, it wouldn't be the first time today that someone has asked me about evolution. My popularity is skyrocketing, but with all the wrong crowds. No offense, Alon. We'll spill the beans then. Have it your way. It's common knowledge that the actions of that trainer Shiv set us back significantly, but the Foxes, on the other hand, they've been busy as of late. In fact, it would seem as though they found something that is particularly important to your research on evolution. Is that so? I doubt it's something I don't already know. Please don't insult me. Hurry up and get to the point. Don't get ahead of yourself, gym leader, and don't think that ego is going to faze me. Information like this isn't going to come for free. You want our knowledge, and we want Baron and Artem to be released. Oof, that is a very tall order. We know they were both shifted to Celia East Prison. Oh, so that's what this is about. A couple of rats in prison, huh? You were right about one thing. Bountilia, however you pronounce that, really did set you back, didn't it? Look, do we have a deal or not? Let's get this done and everyone can go home happily. Making a deal with Crescent to release high security prisoners in exchange for unvalidated information. That I might already know. Come on, everyone, even you must see that flaw in that. See it however you want, gym leader. You'd be wise to take the deal. That just seems like such a crappy deal, though. Like, let's just say, even if he's telling the truth, I don't think that is enough to let go of Baron and Artem. I mean, they might either way try to like break them out regardless. That might actually be a thing. But I don't know. I don't think it's worth the info. Like, you'd have to, give a lot more. But then again, though, I don't think it's wise to even deal with this organization to begin with. But if you were, per se, to do something like that, I don't think that's enough info to really sway anybody, honestly. You'd be wise to take the deal. I think not. I have no intention on completing any dealings with you, so my fellow scoundrel, unless you're planning on buying a drink from this fine establishment, I think you best leave. I knew it might come to this. You see, Reeve, you're going to help me whether you like it or not. You should have been smart enough to know that you were always outmatched. Outmatched? I know math isn't my strong suit, but I count 4 of us and 1 of you. Maybe you might want to count again, gym leader. Come on, really? At least show some originality. Crescent, you lot are never surprising. Fine, I'll let you have this dance. Mind giving me a hand along? I'm sure you have plenty of experience dealing with these delinquents. Oh, so he's a psychic gym leader. That's actually pretty cool. Alon, huh? Yeah, that name certainly rings a bell. You messed up with us a bunch of times, haven't you? Should have known someone like you would team up with a rat like Reeve. So be it, I'll just have to teach you both a lesson. For a moment. I don't want to be that guy, but that just sounds like such a crappy deal. I don't get it, why anybody would even take a deal like that. Alright, so let's gear grind here. So Lazo, I didn't feel. Nice. I can turn this around with some healing items. I kinda wanna redo this actually. I'm gonna redo it. Alrighty, let me do this again with a fully healed team. I'll blaze kick here. I'm gonna go straight into Kitty. Shift gear. Honestly, I think going for it twice is probably fine. That kinda sucks. No point in getting rid of the T-Wave, it's got Prankster. I probably could try to sweep. It does have a Salazzle. I gotta keep that in mind. We'll just see how far we get with this. Let's go into you, Accelerate. Tauros, Sanders, hopefully you don't have Zen Headbutt. I keep forgetting that it gets Earthquake as well. Bamboo. Alrighty. I guess you... that's out. Slow King. We're going to... Oh, it's Galarian Slow King. Alrighty. What is it again? Poison Dart? I'm gonna be real honest, I'm not super wise with like newer era Pokemon. But I think it's like Poison Dart. I don't even know what Eerie Spell does, or what it is. Air Slash though. Alrighty. Darn it, this wasn't meant to happen. If you hadn't turned up in the middle of our meeting... For a moment. Come on, that was all you had to throw at us? I expected more from Crescent. You haven't learned at all, have you? I shouldn't be surprised. It doesn't matter what you think, Reeve. This whole encounter, it's meaningless. To be fair, I knew this would be a waste of time. That's one way of putting it. So smug, we'll see how long that lasts. We're getting our leaders back whether you like it or not. You've had your chance to let this go peacefully, Reeve. Whatever happens next, that's on you. Come on, let's get on out of here. Well, I suppose I should be glad that you turned up. I won't lie, Alon, you really held your own out there. You're much more preferable than Ava at least. So, they know where we are keeping Barret and Artem. That would be problematic. Are you familiar with Artem, Alon? He is Crescent's highest acting lieutenant and leads Crescent alongside Baron. He is a dedicated researcher specializing in the Beamer grid. Of course, he has gone for a long time and only recently returned to find himself in Bontilla, surrounded by policemen. Yet for such an intelligent figure to be so easily caught, something doesn't quite add up. Whatever the case, you've all taken quite the interest in evolution, haven't you? I can only suppose that Crescent and the Foxes are unaware of Darkrai, but for how long? It seems that my allegiance will soon be challenged. Nevertheless, a deal is a deal, so I won't waste your time further. Let's head back and meet your friends, and please don't dawdle. I assume... yeah, that's gonna be locked. Alrighty. So I guess we'll go back to the clothing store, whatever it was called. Hopefully we can change our outfit at some given point. I don't really mind it, it's fine and all. I will say that I do much prefer the other one. Let's see here. Here we go. Alon, you're back. Took your time, huh? I've been bored out of my mind waiting. Better late than never. Come take a seat. Are we actually late? I mean, I didn't even stop anywhere else. But alrighty. So I think it'd be wise to mention the fact that Ava is gone. She clearly didn't have the level of patience that you did, Nova, which to be fair is surprising in itself. I'm flattered. Ava doesn't strike me as the kind to sit around patiently and wait, so you shouldn't be surprised. Or maybe Team Crescent got to her somehow. If she wants to research for clues on her own, let her. There's no point in waiting after all. Now that Alon is back, we may as well get to business. You really made the assumption that you hold all the cards, didn't you? That you get to make all the decisions here. Ava and Alon may trust you, but I do not. We're all on the same side here, Reeve. Evidence continues to point to be the contrary. I prefer to wait until Ava returns, of course, but a deal is a deal, I suppose. Alon, while I don't trust Nova, I do believe that I can trust you. Your intentions, at the very least, I believe in. Fine, the situation is soon to be out of my control anyways. I'll keep my side of the deal and tell you both what I can, even if I don't necessarily trust Nova. Where to even begin? I suppose that's the only logical way to go about this. I may as well start from the beginning then. Perfection evolution, as dubbed by Crescent and the Fox scientist, occurs when a powerful bond is created by a trainer and their Pokemon. Instances of such a form were first described a few hundred years ago, when a band of explorers scoured the Arif region for the first time. These explorers were the most elite of the elite when it came to taming of Pokemon. Furthermore, these explorers had spent their lives training together and had formed an unbreakable brotherhood. Curiously enough, these trainers only carried one Pokemon each during their travels. Although with how powerful they were made to be, why would any more be necessary? Upon discovering Arif, they rejoiced. Such a discovery would certainly bring riches to themselves and their families, so of course they proposed for a time, as even in the face of great adversity, this band of trainers held fast. Okay, fascinating, but Reeve, I'll be honest with you, what exactly does this have to do with perfection? We need answers, not fairy tales. Come on, show some patience. I'm getting there, alright? Obviously, things weren't perfect forever. In their travels, they found something, a relic of sorts that remains undocumented to this day. Whatever they found, it was enough to drive these explorers apart. These are trainers who are brothers and would never turn on each other until they all wanted the same thing. And so they fought. In fighting over this relic, they were otherwise alone apart from their Pokemon. They had nothing but their Pokemon. We get it, Reeve. Come on, cut to the chase. I, for one, want to hear the entire story, Nova. I don't know. I've just always been one of those people that I'm fine being patient. I'm fine with listening. I'm fine with, taking my time and whatnot. I don't really like to rush things and whatnot. But it is what it is. It was written that after years of fighting and further isolation, the explorers had sunk to the pits of what humanity had to offer. They reached a complete state of desolation. Oh god, they said the name. For a moment. And were completely hopeless. Yet that wasn't the end, as just before each trainer perished, their Pokemon changed. And in a display of brilliant radiance, the Pokemon achieved a new form beyond what previously thought to be possible. Perfection. Hopelessness. You're telling me that the key to achieving perfection is being hopeless. Not exactly. The key to perfection is rather impossibility. So, it's kind of an interesting concept. Because it's kind of like, I don't know if like the right example is, having your back against the wall and there really is no other way getting out of it. I don't know if that's the right way to word it, but I feel like that's something similar to what he's getting at. That there's literally nothing you can do. There is no moves to make, no escape, no nothing. And at that point, you just, dig deep within yourself and you just... I don't know, I feel like you get to a point that you just like, screw it, I'm gonna do whatever I can, and that's just what unlocks it. Something like that, maybe. Very interesting. Consider yourself in a situation with odds that are so insurmountable that only the impossible would save you. Perfection is that impossibility. You have to be in an unwinnable situation, yeah? Then what about Darkrai? It's obviously not in perfection state currently, but the way it spoke to me in the dream, I'm almost certain it must have at least once before. You may be right. Oh, so they can maybe revert to a normal form and not go back to perfection? So I wonder then, if Darkrai's now in the real world, does that mean that potentially the Umbreon can and possibly might revert back? I don't know. But then again, it's kind of difficult to think, how would Darkrai get into a situation that it literally can't win? Unless it's like in the end game we're beating it and it just cannot win against us and it just, yo, hey, you may have beat me once, but now I'm perfect. We're gonna do this again. Maybe something of the sort like that. I don't know. But I like the idea. Very interesting. Judging from its ability to create such a vast dream and to develop its consciousness to the degree you have described, I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that it has reached perfection before, somehow at least. Even so, you'd need to have an incredibly strong bond with a trainer. Darkrai clearly doesn't have one of those. Indeed. Well, then again, I thought I brought it up before that, or well, we all brought it up before the whole deal thing, that it's very possible that Darkrai has a trainer. So, well, then again, what's interesting is this Darkrai can talk. You know, it'd be some real wild stuff. What if somehow the trainer and the Darkrai fused as one? Or maybe the actual trainer is like in like a nightmare state, and the Darkrai is like just roaming around while the trainer is still in a nightmare state, maybe? I don't know. But another idea, I don't want to forget about Eden though. I don't think Eden is the trainer to Darkrai, but I think as of now, ever since her name kind of popped up, she's my number one person for being the trainer, because back then Lilith brought it up, well, when she was stolen from the foxes, Garrett got a letter being like, yo, you should be thankful or something that we are doing this. So maybe, you know, Lilith at the time was working with Darkrai. Darkrai's like, yo, I need a trainer. It's not going to be you because I need you to be a pawn, but I need somebody to be a trainer. And maybe Eden took that role because Lilith introduced Eden to Darkrai. That's a big stretch, honestly. That's a really big stretch, but it's possible. And again, I'm just throwing mud at the wall, just seeing if it sticks. There's so many different things I could say and make up and whatnot, but we won't truly know until it actually happens. Or until we get more concrete info. And furthermore, there is one other confounder. Due to the nature of the circumstances required to create this perfect bond, it isn't such much a temporary form as it is a Pokemon's most true evolutionary state. Once a bond that can bring about about perfection is created, it's equally hard to break. Oh. So it's equally hard to break. Okay, so maybe it's possible still. Darkrai is very clearly not in a perfection state. Well, then again, it brought up before that it wanted to be in the state, so maybe it's just never been in the perfect state. Or maybe a long time ago it did, but then it could have something to do with the relic though. I don't know. Let me stop. Darkrai is very clearly not in a perfection state. Unfortunately, that's all about I know when it comes to perfection. Wait, what? Seriously, that's it? That was just a fairy tale. How does that help us at all? Perfection is barely known of Nova. See, that's the thing that I do agree with Reeve. That, well, it's not like I have like many disagreements with the guy, but like it's one of those things like, okay, besides Reeve, who else do you know that knows anything about perfection? Yeah, Lilith has the Umbreon, but one, she's playing around with flowers in a flower field apparently somewhere with the Umbreon. And two, you know, somehow she got to a state that, you know, there was nothing she can do and it got to a perfect state. And even if it did, I don't think even Lilith herself knows much about perfection. She may have some insight, some info, but I don't think even she fully knows the extent on perfection. So again, it's not like your everyday guy can really tell you all there is to know about perfection. It's beyond rare to find trainers with perfect forms. I mean, literally, Lilith is the only one in the entire game as of now that has reached perfection. Nobody else, possibly Darkrai, but then he may have lost it. He may have been somebody as well, but for now, let's just say the only one that we have seen within the game is Lilith, so yeah, it's not like even Reeve himself can really give much info. I'm sorry, but if you need to know more, then you'll need to find someone else, because I don't have the information that you seek. Someone else, seriously? You have some nerve, huh? Leading us on that chase and giving us nothing to show for it. I don't think he gave you nothing. I think he gave you something valuable. He literally gave you the key to getting perfection. I think that's really valuable. And again, without Reeve, you know, we'd still be at square one. It's something, you know, not nothing. I needed your help and I told you what I knew. That was the bargain and I kept to it. It would have helped if you actually knew something. Who the hell is supposed to help us, huh? Well, that's where I have some information that might be helpful. I knew there was more to this. That's a strange way of showing gratitude. Anyway, I know someone who may be able to help you. There is one particular scientist who knows far more about this form of evolution than I. He works with the Black Foxes and the pioneers their research on perfection. His name? Waldenhall. That name doesn't mean anything to me, but the Foxes? Sure enough, I can work with that. Any chance you know where to find this chap? Or would that be asking too much of you? You're already pushing at Nova. Unfortunately, I have nothing more to give you. Figures. I mean, why would he help us, by the way? If he's working with the Foxes? I guess we can still ask, but I don't think he's gonna give us the info, like, kindly, like, oh hey, you know, you've been a big problem with the Foxes, we know about you, Alon. But here's all you need to know about perfection. No, I don't think he's gonna give us anything at all. I think it's gonna be a struggle. I told you everything I know, however, for someone like you, that'll never be enough. Waldenhall, I don't know where to find him, not anymore. I guess we're back at square one then, huh? Except instead of finding some anomaly, we have to find another. I can tell you you're hiding something, Reeve. Keep in mind that whatever it is, it'll have consequences for all of us. Let's go, Alon. There's nothing left for us here. Alon, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this situation is more complicated than I would like to admit. I wish I could have been more of help, but sometimes that's just how it is. Perfection is something that should have remained forgotten. That is something that I would agree with, you know? But I don't know. I think Nova, you know, did hit the nail on the head. Clearly there's much more that's not being said, but I also understand why it's a really sensitive topic, because if you give that kind of info to the wrong people, for example, that can really, you know, mess things up. We don't need the wrong people with that much power, you know? I get that. Although its origins are pure and virtuous, the results have always been disastrous. It was not meant to be found. Whatever the case, please feel free to explore my city, make yourself at home as much as you can. Everything will work itself out. I'm sure we'll be in touch, Alon. I've heard a few things about Waldenhall, you know. You and Nova better not take him lightly. At least we got a little warning there. And like I brought up before, it's not like Waldenhall is going to be like, here is all I know about perfection. Here you go. I think it's much more complex. Will be much more complex. Well, so this is one of the last spots, huh? Oh, you actually came. You didn't know you were capable of leaving those sewers, Difference is, unlike Celia, your whole city is a sewer. It's almost comical how someone like you got put in charge of a whole city, you know, when you can barely look after yourself. Looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I didn't realize coming into a big new city would be so intimidating for you. Let's just get this over with, alright? So this is the spot, right? Yeah, this is one of the last spots that Darkrai took Alon. It's kinda scary. Scary, what do you mean? I mean, Darkrai was standing right here, right? Here in Arif in my city with all these innocent people. All these defenseless people. You know, every city has their fair share of bad guys. These people are always in danger from one thing or another. This time, in my eyes, it is no different. We'll sort this stuff out and get on with life, alright? Yeah, I know. Okay, stop your moping. What have you found so far anyways? Well, nothing really. I've just been searching through these, but I found nothing at all. There's just no trace of anything. Well, that just means we ain't looking hard enough. If we put our minds to it, I'm sure something will pop up. That's easy for you to say. You only just got here. Try not to focus on the details, yeah? That's a waste of the brain power you should be using to find clues. Not that you have much brain power left. You're really selling yourself, huh? You could really help your cause by, you know, actually getting the work. I mean, yeah, I've got a rep to uphold, you know. Less talk, more searching, yeah? You've covered literally no ground. Tough crowd, huh? Whatever, I guess. Huh? What's this? What's up? Did you find something, or are you just pulling my leg again? No, I found something. It's just a wee bit of a folder paper tucked under one of these tiles. Something like this wouldn't be here by accident, right? And, what does it say? Stop leaving me in suspense, Garrett. Chances are it's nothing. Yeah, I'm getting there. Wait, what? It just says... Find Waldenhall. Interesting. So maybe Darkrai has sent the twins to go after Waldenhall? That would make sense because Darkrai also wants the perfect form, so yeah, makes sense. Well, that wasn't exactly inspiring information, huh? Besides, it's not like we actually know where the foxes disappeared off to, and without my powers, darn it. I really don't know where to look, Alon. If we can't find the foxes, we can't figure out how to stop Darkrai. If only we could just look straight into the Darkrai's head and skip everything in between. Unless... I just had a thought. Perhaps we're looking at this the wrong way, Alon. Darkrai, the foxes, it's all related, right? We don't have any leads on where the foxes could be, but there might be one on where to find Darkrai. Somewhere that we haven't thought about looking. Darkrai and the twins, they're somewhere in Arif, right? And if I'm correct, that leaves a gold mine of information potentially unprotected, back where this all started. Everyone was so obsessed, from escaping the dream in the first place, making it the last place Darkrai would expect us to look. If we want to figure all of this out, we need to go to the dreamscape. The absolute wealth of information in those ruins, it's our best shot. The dreamscape is where Darkrai pondered upon all of its plans. It's not unreasonable to think that it left something behind. I know you've been there too many times to count Alon. I know what kind of impact that has on a trainer, but I don't know how else we'll find what we need. Whatever the case, we best talk about this elsewhere. Meet me at the manor and we'll work out a plan from there. Sounds like a plan. So let's head on back then. I believe... I'm curious, is Rosetta or anybody else here? No. Okay. It is a little bit interesting that Ava's kind of missing. I still assume somehow she got kidnapped or something, probably. That would be my guess. By like Team Crescent or something with the one warning. Let me... I mean, I guess we're fine on items, honestly. I did not mean to do that. Alrighty, sorry about that. I guess I was wrong on that whole thing. I just wasn't expecting a whole cutscene there. You what? Are you crazy? You take Alon back to the dream on a hunch. This is why I didn't trust you to begin with. Typical that you'd wait for me to leave before coming up with this crap. Oh Alon, you came back at the perfect moment. Now you can see that Nova is actually nuts. Contrary to your beliefs, Ava, this time is different. The whole situation has changed. It's a dream. Sorry, it's the dream. And as far as I remember, the lot of you barely made it out. You might be right, but again, the dream isn't the same as before. It's not as dangerous for one. Darkrai, well, you can't really confirm that though, to be fair. I mean, with logic, technically yes, but you can't really confirm that, Nova. Darkrai isn't there to keep an eye on things, right? Besides, Alon has been there plenty of times already and at almost no effect. What's one more trip? Seriously, how can you even think that? There is no way we're sending Alon back to the dream again, not after what happened last time. You and I both know that it is too risky. Typical. I suppose you must have a better idea then, with all the evidence you found on your little adventure, I do have some information, actually. While you were mucking around here, Garrett found a note from one of those locations Darkrai took Alon, the high-rise apartments in Blackview City. It said to find Waldenhall. Whoever wrote it has to know something, sorry. Wait, what? A note from Blackview? Does that mean... Could it be Darkrai trying to deceive us? Or perhaps Shiv, he might be... No. Whatever the case, it makes no difference. Reeve told us the same thing, to find this Waldenhall guy, but we definitely aren't gonna find him here. There's still time for this. We don't have to rush into anything to find Darkrai, especially not the dream. Is there really time? Is there time really? This is the Darkrai that conjured the entire dream, Ava. I mean... Okay, I get it that we don't really have a lot of choices and we don't really know where the hell to even go at all, but I assume most likely we're going to end up in the dream regardless, but I agree mostly with Nova with one simple fact. Why would Waldenhall be in the dream? I feel like you'd have a better chance finding Waldenhall within... I guess technically this is a dream, but let's just say, let's call this the real world for now. I feel like we'd have a better chance at finding Waldenhall here and not within the dream. There may be info within the dream, but I feel like our priorities should be finding Waldenhall and not the dream itself. I could be wrong though. What do you think it could do to Aerith then? We can't screw around here and wait. That's easy for you to say considering that it's Alon who's going. I cannot believe this. Fine, you keep telling me to earn your trust, right? Then let's not allow Alon to go to the dreamscape alone. Instead, I'll be going with them. Right. So if Alon gets stuck there, you'll get stuck too. Yep, that makes me feel so much better. Darn it. I can't keep lying to myself. If we don't take a risk to stop Darkrai, how will we even make a dent? Ava, please just listen to me. I'm here to help you guys, okay? After everything that's happened, I want to stop Darkrai. I want to help Shiv. I can't force myself to trust you, and I don't like this, but you're right. This is our best shot. Bro moment. I kinda agree with Ava from before, though. I mean, there probably is info, of course, but it doesn't matter. Fine, we'll do it. The Dreamscape, it's the last place that Darkrai would be expecting us to go, which means that there must be something to find, so then do it. Head to the Dreamscape and dig up what you can, just don't come back empty-handed. The rest of us will stay here and get some answers one way or another. Well, actually, it might work out. We go there, and hopefully they try to find Waldenhall or get some info on that when we get back, so I guess technically it's a win-win. It feels good to be in agreement for once. Don't expect that feeling to last. I'm sure you'll screw up soon enough. Alon, I'm sorry about all of this. You just seem to have a knack of being thrown right into the middle, huh? I wish we got more of a chance to talk. Just stay safe, okay? I'll be in touch. Nova, I know you're trying to help us. I know you're trying to do the right thing. Just make it count, okay? And then there were two. Well, you heard the lady. Let's not waste any time, Come on, let's get sleeping. I still feel like my powers are disappearing, you know. As weird as it is to say, I feel like entering the Dreamscape is one of the only things I have left. For a moment. Alrighty. I won't lie, it feels good to be back. Of course, this was my house after all before we frisked it away. Although, was it really? With Darkrai pulling the strings in my life, who's to say that anything I own was truly my own? Now that I'm back, I want to make the most of what I've got, you know. Whatever the case, I won't get to own anything if we don't get to work. Come on, let's get to it. Although, I'm taking the bed. You can sleep on the couch for all I care. Oh, did you think you were calling the shots? Come on, Alon, get in line. Besides, the couches are comfy enough. For a moment. To be fair, I can honestly just sleep anywhere, so I'm not really picky on that end. Do you say anything else? You know, I really was serious about making amends, although I can't really do it while you're standing over me watching me sleep. Don't you have, like, a couch? Seriously, Alon. Alrighty. What? A spring is poking. Already. How about the piano? Alright, let me stop. Shiv. Please, just wait for me. I'll find you. No matter what. I thought you were gone. Yet here you remain. Meanwhile? For a moment. So, I wonder if that voice is Darkrai or not. It's probably somebody else, right? Maybe. He's late. I shouldn't be surprised, really. If I were him, I wouldn't come at all. Amelia, this isn't right. Lilith is gone, but our goals shouldn't change. We still need him. We need him? No, dearest Hardy, you need him. The foxes, however, don't. You need to learn how this all works, and you need to learn fast. We're not a charity case for lost researchers. The foxes are meant to be powerful, not skulk around in the shadows waiting for a miracle. We certainly won't live up to our own ideals with lab reports and calculations. It's time for change. He did a lot for the foxes, for everyone in this organization, and now we no longer require his services. Besides, Hardy, we don't even know where his allegiance lies. We only trusted Lilith, and now that she's gone, can we really trust him? Trust is earned, Hardy. We haven't earned his, and he certainly hasn't earned ours. It's time to move on. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Took you long enough. Amelia, I wish I could say it's a pleasure. Both, of course, it's not. You certainly took your time to come here, didn't you? So I assume this is probably Waldenhall, right? It would have to be, right? As I'm sure you all are well aware, my research takes priority. I shouldn't be wasting this precious time playing audience to you. Lilith at least understood the nature of this research and the importance of its secrecy. My every being here jeopardizes everything. Lilith this, Lilith that, I've heard her name more times than I can count on today. Let me make things very clear for you. Lilith is gone. She's not coming back, which leaves me in charge. And as the leader of the Black Foxes, I believe that it is time for things to change around here. So that's what this is all about. I suspected as much. You're a smart man. I know I saw this coming. I know you saw this coming, sorry. Your research has yielded almost nothing and pulls resources away from what is really important to us. Power, I'm done waiting for what's rightfully mine. Furthermore, your insubordination only causes our followers' eyes to stray from the path that I have laid out for us. As preposterous as it is, many foxes believe you were the rightful heir after Lilith left. That this chair that I sit upon was meant for you. How laughable. Well, it seems that the taste of power has made you even more immature. I'm disappointed that you think I care about this political struggle of yours. My research, as it always has, remains prominent, or pro-amount, however you pronounce that. Our arrangement benefits us both, Amelia, so there's no need to further complicate it. You're right, of course. Your work was of benefit to Lilith, less to me. See, I think he's right on the dot, honestly. Like, clearly she's power hungry, and that could definitely jeopardize quite a bit of stuff. I mean, literally, the guy is like, yo, whether these people think I'm worthy of being the leader or not, I don't care. I'm a scientist. I want to do research. I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be bothered. I have done tremendous work for you guys. Just let me do what I do best. Don't complicate things. Don't mess around with me. All I'm doing is what I want to do, and it benefits all of us in the long run, so why not just leave him alone? Perfection, evolution, the lot of it, it never really bothered me so much anyways. However, what does bother me is your place in this organization. I won't have my authority challenged by you anymore. Don't worry, it's nothing personal. Amelia, this isn't what we... Shut it, Hardy. So I suppose you're in on this as well, Hardy, despite all I have done for you and your precious Zoroark. I mean, Hardy's a part of this, but it seems he didn't necessarily agree with the whole thing. Please, it doesn't matter in the slightest. Despite Amelia's thirst for chaos, she knows that this is a mistake. Her words are hollow. We are on the brink of discovering something great, and you both do well to bear witness. Perfection. See, I don't get what Amelia's doing. I feel like she's blundering really hard here. Like, you do understand, like, again, he's saying it like we're about to discover something. I am here with you guys. You allow me to run around and do all this and that, and we all win. So why get rid of me? I don't want control. I don't care about taking control. Unless he's lying, which is very possible. But let's go off of he's not lying as of now. I don't get why taking him out does anything. I feel like you lose somebody that's very dedicated and is actually doing something that can benefit you guys in the long run. You guys run around and do your own thing, but you just leave him alone. I don't get Amelia's mindset. Perfection this time, what we have on our hands will change the future, not just for the foxes, but for all of humankind. I have no intentions of overthrowing this organization or taking your so-called throne, so as long as our goals remain aligned. We both know what you want, Amelia, and we both know that this is the only way. My research must go on. Lilith understood its value. I trust that you will do the same. If you choose a different path, however, my research will find a way to continue even without you. Emilia, we're already so close. Let's just finish what we started, then take the foxes from there. Darn it. Emilia. You're skating on thin ice and you know it. This operation of yours is starting to show its cracks, but please indulge me. Let the show go on. Well then, shall we get to work? Where to then, a Waldenhall? Okay, so that is Waldenhall. North. Oh. For a moment. Guess we're back at the manor. Oh, took you long enough. Reunited at last, To be honest, that was much easier than I thought it'd be. Nevertheless, it's weird to be back. Nothing's changed since I was last here, nothing at all. I shouldn't be surprised, of course, but I just can't shake this weird feeling. This place was basically my home, you know. The memories in these walls were pretty much my best. Obviously until Darkrai stepped in. Now it just radiates, I don't know, sadness. Sorry for moping around Alon. Come on, let's just get to work and get on out of here as quickly as possible. I'll meet you in the village. And I think with that being said, this is probably a good spot to end off today's episode, so yeah. I thank you guys so much for watching, definitely do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Good morning.